Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you're doing good. I'm doing great as always. But today I'm out here gonna do a little bit of a test now with my brand new iPhone Pro Max 12, long enough name I hope, and see what I can do as far as action sports photography with my phone. Now this is my actual phone. I finally got it from Apple last week or so, and I've been playing with it at home for a bit, taking lots of pictures of my kid, a lot of fun. But I just want to see what I can do with my iPhone Pro Max 12 out here in the street. And today we're going to be shooting some trials bike riders. I got my friend Tomomi Nishikubo out here with us, and we're just going to be going around on some bikes here in the area. There's a whole bunch of really cool spots out here apparently, so it should be a lot of fun. It's my first time shooting trials really of any kind with a phone or with my camera, so I'm excited to see what we can do, and hopefully we have a great session. So yeah, check it out, and leave a comment below, subscribe and all that jazz, and let me know what you think. We'll see what we can do with this camera, with this phone that happens to have a camera attached to it. But yeah, let's see what we can do. Cheers. Ah, ね、その瞬間ね。ナイス。なるほどね。ああ、これがいいね。ナイス。あ、なんか面白い。
ああ、面白い。
太陽が綺麗に映るんで。
へえ。
面白いな。
いいやん。
ああ。連射がスタートするのは結構遅いね。あ、ナイスナイスナイス。あ、いいんじゃない？こんな感じで編集したらいいね。
ナイス。
いいよ。そこでね、じゃあ水の反射ちょっと使ってみます。あ、そこになるね。あ、ナイスナイスナイス、いいね。あ、小さいやつ？あ、ナイスナイス。あ、ナイスナイス。おお。
めっちゃいいやん。
うん。
ナイス。
ちょっと編集したらかっこいいかも。
めっちゃいいね。
Sweet, so we're having fun. Got a good session on the go here. One thing I noticed real quick when I'm trying to use the rensha, or the burst mode here in the iPhone, it takes a minute for it to click in and actually start shooting photos after I've pushed the button. So before, when I was shooting with my old iPhone and I wanted to shoot like a burst of images, I would just hold down the shutter button and it would automatically go into a burst of images. Now the new iOS, it's when you hold down the red shutter button, it actually clicks over to a video. So if you want to shoot a high burst of images, you have to go into your menus and switch part of the menu over, so then when you go, it changes the volume up button to your burst button, which I've done. I did that before I came, and I'm showing you right now how to do that on the screen here. Really easy to do, and if you do that, then you can use your button, and you actually have an actual physical button now on your phone that you can use to shoot the rensha, or the high burst of images, which is great. It's nice to have an actual physical button I can use. The thing is, when I'm using this button, I really have to crank down on it, and I'm noticing that the shutter, there's a pretty good lag actually before it starts shooting this the burst of images, which I think you might be able to see in the video that we're shooting. So if you want to shoot bursts of images, make sure you're hitting that shutter button way before the action is actually going to happen. And you're going to take a million photos anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but don't try to time that to be right as the action's starting. Do it as the person's actually running up or coming into they haven't even come into the screen yet, and just be like, okay, go, hit it and start shooting that, or else you're going to miss the shot completely. So in a lot of cameras, there's a delay in these types of images. I noticed on a couple of cameras I've used lately, there is a delay. So you got to be aware of these delays when you're shooting action sports, because the timing is critical. So be sure when you're shooting with your iPhone Pro Max 12, man, it's such a long name. If you want to use the burst of images, do it really early, like really super early, and then take a huge amount of photos. Kind of a pain. But really, if you're not used to the sport, or it's kind of a critical moment and you really need to do a burst of images, it's important. So, keep that in mind when you're shooting. Cheers. Alright. Okay. Hi. You go. Ah, しまった。もう一回お願いします。 なんか変なところしちゃった。ナイス。面白いね。So one thing you can do here with the iPhone Pro Max is you can change the lenses, like I said. And there's actually a little spin wheel on here that actually shows you what millimeter it's supposed to be, what focal length it's supposed to be. So the 0.5, which is the wide angle, is said to be 13 millimeters. Seems pretty good. I have a 16 mil fisheye, which this isn't really fisheye, but it does kind of distort the image a bit like a fisheye. So you got to be careful with putting things close to the edge of the image, because you'll see in some of the shots I just took, it might be a little more distorted than I like, really, but still, it's kind of a cool shot. And then as you go to the normal range, it goes down to 26 millimeters, and then you go to 2.5, it's 65 millimeter. Now the iPhone Pro Max 12, these should all be using the actual lenses that you see on the back of the camera here. These are all different lenses, each one for different focal length there. So yeah, you know, the 2.5, it's nice and close up. It's 65 mil, so it could be good for portraits later on. 26 mil is pretty good. You know, I use 24 mil for my DSLR a lot. And then the, and then the 13 mil, it's fisheye-ish. It's really fisheye, it's really wide. It's like super wide. Now one thing I did notice is that as you're zooming in, I think what it's doing is it's doing a digital zoom from one lens, and then as you click over, it changes to the other lens. So if you're using the spin wheel and you're zooming in finely with this, you're actually just gonna be doing a digital zoom from the first lens, and then it changes over, and then it goes to the next lens, and it changes over. So I'm doing the screen capture right now on my phone, and I think you can really tell the difference here as I go through this spin wheel. So I'll start at 13. As you can go through, you can see that the resolution here, it kind of drops as I go in. As I get to the one zoom, it clicks in and it goes really nice because it changes lenses. And then as I go through again to the 2.5, you can tell it's a digital zoom. And then right as I get here, it clicks over and the image gets a lot better. So you want to be really careful here. You know, you want to get the best possible resolution. So I don't know if you'd want to like play with the zoom wheel here and do finite stuff in camera, where you're just going to use the lens itself, pick that, and then maybe crop a little bit afterwards. Again, you go past 2.5, you're up into a digital zoom, and it's, you know, whatever, digital zoom, you must just zoom, crop that on your own anyway. So yeah, just notice that while I was shooting, so be careful when you're out there. Photo time. Good job. Hey. ジャンプできるの？やってみて。うん。すごいね。この角で。いいね。ナイスナイス。いいねいいね。いいよ。あ、これもいいかも。いいね。もっとこっち、俺の近く。うんうんうん。でも可能な限りはこっちに近いかな。ナイスナイス。うん、そうだ。ふわうん。ああ、いいね。ああ、これの方がいいね。 Oh, pretty
Oh.
cool. 되게 깜깜이야.
오, めっちゃかっこいい. 유.
Yeah, so that was our session over here in Makuhari. We found a couple cool spots around the area. It's a really nice little area out here, actually. If you want to do some street photography in that, there's really not a lot of people around. It's quite quiet. We could do everything we wanted to do out here on the street, and no one bothered us, and everyone was actually kind of enjoyed what we were doing, so it's pretty cool. The camera itself, the iPhone itself, you know, shooting with it, I found I was really going to the wide lens a lot. That's just kind of how I shoot maybe. Maybe it was just kind of what we were shooting on, but I like the wide lens. The lenses are all really nice, actually. Good quality in the images as that I could see on the phone. You know, there's like I mentioned before, there's the issue with shooting bursts with the button on the side, the volume button. Seems to take a real good like second and a half or so to kick in and start actually giving you photos. So be aware of that when shooting. Other than that, you know, like once you've shot the images, you can look at them really quick on your iPhone and double check what you're doing, which is really nice because I've used some cameras where it takes a while for it to come back up on the camera and you want to do a real quick check and see if you got the right angle on that. And in these kind of situations when you're shooting action in the street and that, you really need to be really quick with your checking and using your camera in that. So, you know, it was really nice. I could do that really quickly. And you know, it's an iPhone. I use it every day in my normal life anyway, so I'm really used to using it. The app that the native app is really simple, really intuitive. You really can't go wrong with it too much. I think really the only things that made it difficult for me today a little bit was the burst mode, which I use a lot in my shooting, because you know, you don't want to, if you can get 20 photos and the best one to pick from, why not? And it's really just data, so I can always just erase it off my phone anyways. So yeah, it was a fun day. I don't think I would ever use my iPhone for any kind of a professional shoot. But again, like you never know when you're out and doing stuff and you have a friend that you run into and you want to do something cool, or you're just, you know, want to go light, or you don't have the money to afford a big camera and stuff like that. You know, the iPhone Pro Max 12 is not a cheap camera if you're going to use it as a camera. But you know, if it's something that I'm going to have on me anyways, which I do personally, then I'd be kind of inclined to use it once in a while. It's really easy to use. You get decent images, and yeah, so that was cool. A lot of fun. Great thanks to the riders. Cheers.